Thanks for tuning in to Chats with Your Self-Worth BFF. This is your host, Michaela Falar, where we are here to skyrocket your self-worth, heal your shit, and take your power back. Welcome to the chat. Hey guys, welcome back to Chats with Your Self-Worth BFF. It's your host, Michaela Falar. Today we're going to be chatting all about intuition. I have a workshop / masterclass that is called Intuition Activation, where I'm going to be teaching you how to begin to master your own intuition and how to listen to your own intuition and get answers from within, as opposed to seeking for advice from everyone around you and seeking constantly for the answers outside of yourself. So I used to really struggle with trusting myself and my own decisions. I would always blame myself if anything went wrong because I wanted to take responsibility for my own life, which is amazing. And we all should take responsibility for our own lives because we are in charge. We do create our reality, of course. But what happened was, before intuition, I would constantly seek advice or approval from outside of myself for even, small and big things, that like decisions, or, should I do this or should I do that? Like I would seek outside of myself for those answers. And I just realized that I shouldn't be doing that. You don't take advice from just anybody or anyone. And sometimes there are things that you have to make the decision solely on your own. But because I was so wrapped up in not trusting myself and my own ability to make decisions, to make good decisions based on the fear of failure, which is like a whole other thing that I had to work through, that I would seek outside of myself for this information. And so that's where intuition comes into play and how intuition has changed my life drastically. And I'm going to share a little bit about that today with you guys. So even if I would make a decision that I made, if I would make a decision and it was my own decision that I made and it would go wrong, I would totally blame myself. And I would just get super down on the fact that it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. And I then automatically just assumed I didn't make the right decision, that I should have done this, I should have listened to this person, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on, right? And what would happen is I started asking everyone around me for advice. And even if I felt the advice given wasn't right for me, I would still listen to them because I didn't trust myself. It was that bad. So the first thing is learning to trust yourself, even if you don't make the right decision, knowing that it was supposed to happen that way, and that God, source, your higher self, whatever word best resonates with you, has a bigger plan for you. And you might not see the reasoning behind why it didn't go your way right away, but ultimately that whatever decision it is that you made was the right decision, period. But that wasn't I didn't know that. Okay. I just was oh, well, I can't trust myself. I don't know how to make good decisions. Every time I make a decision or I don't listen to this person or that person, things go wrong. Right. And so I would just constantly blame myself and shame myself for making quote unquote bad decisions. And if something, let's say I did get the advice from somebody else, and I had that ping of no, you should actually do this instead. I didn't listen to my intuition, my higher self. I went along with whatever the advice was given. I would say to myself well, I guess I should have listened to my intuition. But I didn't really know what intuition was or how important it was to listen to it until I started working with my mentor, who taught me the importance of listening to my intuition and how to get the most accurate information using my intuition, because that does play a role in it. The way that you ask questions is huge. And I just had no idea what any of that meant until I started working with my mentor, and she started teaching me how to use intuition the best way possible. So this is now what I teach my mentorship students, and now I want to make it available and accessible to as many people as possible, because I do feel that it's so life-changing to learn to trust yourself and learn to trust your intuition and to make decisions based solely off of what you feel is right, because ultimately you're the only person who knows what's right for you, right? So I want to be able to help people to stop seeking outside of themselves for information and taking advice from people that aren't going to take you to the places that your soul wants to take you. Intuition is advice from your higher self. Your higher self is the only one who knows what's best for you, period. We all have soul contracts, and no one has the same soul contract, and nobody knows what is on your soul contract unless they're an intuitive and they know this work and they know how to tap into your soul contract. I know how to tap into your soul contract. I know how to ask your higher self what is best, what is not best, etc. But everything happens for a reason. Your soul, everything that happens in your life is written in your soul contract. So that's why it's so important to listen to your intuition and listen to your higher self and to read your soul contract and to be in tune with that part of yourself so that you can make the decisions based off of that information. Even if things don't go the way your human self wants them to go, like I said in the beginning of this, your higher self, source, God, whoever, whatever word best resonates with you, has a bigger plan for you. I'm not saying to never take advice. I'm just saying to be careful who you take advice from. And because they're not going where you're going, period. Especially, for instance, me, I was taking advice from anyone and everyone and telling everyone all about my things that I needed to work on or work through. And I wasn't listening to my intuition. I wasn't listening to what I felt was right. And instead, I was just making decisions based off of what everyone else told me to do. And a lot of us, I've found, struggle with this and struggle with seeking for validation from outside of themselves. Even if they do decide to make a decision, they're questioning that decision. So that's where that trust comes into play, and learning how to trust yourself is so important. Now, intuition is like a muscle, and it's like going to the gym. If you were to go to the gym and try and deadlift an obscene amount of weight and you've never deadlifted in your life, then you're going to hurt yourself. You're not going to get the best outcome, right? It's the same with intuition. In order to get the best possible outcome, you have to practice, you have to build that muscle, you have to use it every single day. And ultimately, you know what's best for you. And so why I've created this course is because I want to be able to, or not a course, but this like little workshop / mastermind situation, is because I want to make sure that as many people as possible have the tools and the techniques that you need in order to get the most accurate information. Now, you're not going to walk out of this masterclass or this workshop being a master of your intuition. However, you will get the beginner's techniques in order to begin to strengthen it so that your trust in yourself can strengthen as well, and your intuition can strengthen. And as you use intuition more and more and tap into trusting yourself more and more, then the stronger it gets and the more questions you're going to be able to ask and the more downloads you're going to be able to get. And when I say downloads, I mean visions or something maybe you hear, or like a thought that you hear that is from your higher self, from source, God, whatever word, again, best resonates with you. So the way that intuition has changed my life is that I no longer seek for advice from outside of myself. I tune in, I use the techniques that I have learned, and I ask myself whatever question that I need. And then I trust that whatever answer that I get from my intuition higher self is exactly what I need to do. And even if things don't go exactly the way that I had hoped that my human self wants them to go, I'm trusting that my soul, my higher self, has a bigger plan for me, and that this has a silver lining and that everything is happening for me, not to me, right? So I'm going to read some testimonials for you guys from a couple of my mentorship students who I've been working on strengthening their intuition. And first one is from Catherine, and I've been working with her for about 3 or 4 months now. And she says, I've always known what intuition is. I've always been told it's something that I had, but I never truly understood just how powerful it was until I started mentorship with Michaela. Beyond our sessions, Michaela would challenge me to use my intuition when I would ask her questions and then confirm the answer I found until I started getting more comfortable and confident in my abilities. Without her, my intuition wouldn't be where it is now, and I definitely wouldn't have the confidence to trust it. So that was from Catherine. I'm honestly so proud of her. She is a very highly intuitive person, and she just struggled with trusting herself. So that's something that we've definitely been working on. And this next testimonial, I can say the same exact thing. It's from Trent. He also struggled with trusting himself and the decisions that he made. So this has been a profound tool in his life as well to begin to use and utilize throughout his day-to-day life. His testimonial states, the intuition all of us have inside plays a crucial role in living out our purpose and serving our higher good. However, it's all too common for social conditioning and past experiences to manipulate and bury that higher power intuition under norms, worldly values, and even trauma. Your intuition also acts like a muscle, as in you need to use it constantly for it to grow louder and larger. This is Michaela's forte. She is an excellent strength and conditioning coach, but now she's helping people tap into that intuition inside of themselves using the same principles. Before I started working with Michaela, I had really bad personal habits. My routine was inconsistent, my diet was out of whack, and I wasn't listening to my body. She has helped me over time build small but mighty foundations, stack habits, and build my routine, and stick to being consistent in everything I do. It's truly changed my life. Reach out to Michaela if you are looking for someone to help you tap into your intuition and realize the highest version of yourself. So these testimonials always get the best of me. It's so amazing to see how the work that I'm sharing has transformed lives. But what Trent is saying, even that his learning how to trust his intuition has helped his diet. It has helped him listen and tune into his body, which, you guys, this is also a way that I use my intuition to create a weekly workout routine. And I'm not saying, we always hear in the fitness world, oh, listen to your body. If you don't want to work out today, listen to your body. And I'm all for that. And also, I know that my human self and my intuition are two totally different things. And so if my human self is oh, I don't want to work out today, but I tune into my intuition and I ask it, will taking a day off result in me getting the best possible, or me getting to my fitness and health goals the quickest? I can hear a yes or a no. And then I'm okay, well, what do I need to do? Is it in my best interest to go to Pilates today? Is it in my best interest to go to the gym and lift weights today? And that's an example of how I use my intuition to create my own workout routine to get the best results possible for what I want to look like physically. Same thing goes for my diet. I ask my intuition, how many times should I eat salmon today? How many times should I eat beef today? Is it in my best interest to drink whole milk or raw milk or almond milk? That is how in depth I can get with my intuition. And that is an example of how it can transform your life. It's not only just about making the decisions of, oh, should I go on this date tonight with this person? Is it in both of our best interests for me to go out on this with this person? It's not just that, which that's also a thing that I do, but it's also getting into the best physical and mental health that you can possibly be in, because you're tuning into yourself. And ultimately, your body is the only thing that knows what is best for you. Your intuition, like I've said multiple times in this podcast episode, is the only thing that knows what is best for you. So those are a few examples of how intuition has changed my life. And we will, in this intuition activation workshop, go into creating a health and wellness plan for you guys, essentially. So that's also something that I'm going to be offering in this workshop. We will be getting into how to tune into your yes or no answers using intuition. I'm going to give you a few beginner's techniques. So we'll be doing like how to tune into your yes or no yes or no answers using your body, using a pendulum, and also using colors. And if you get into this workshop, you will know exactly what I mean. I will go into more depth about this. I will teach you how to ask your question and get the most accurate answer, because how you ask the question plays a crucial role in getting the most accurate information. I'm also going to be putting everybody through a healing and protection meditation, and also like a little cell recharge. And that's going to just change your life. It's going to be like, because you're recharging your cells, you're calling back all missing pieces of your third eye. We're going to be going into chakras and bringing them back to 100% frequency in your body. So it's ultimately, this meditation is going to be leaving you feeling more energized, more alive, more in touch with your body, more in touch with your intuition, all that good stuff. So that's also in this workshop. And I'm also going to be putting everybody into little groups, and we're going to be doing intuitive reads on each other. So whether or not that's like something that you're interested in, I think it's always fun, even if you don't want to like build a business on, using your intuition, that's totally fine. Like, this workshop is still for you, because like I said, like tuning into your intuition and learning how to get your yes or no answers and stuff, it's life-changing, and can definitely benefit you as an individual, regardless of if you use this on other people and help other people, basically doing what I'm doing with it. So it's also just fun. Like, let's say you're at a family outing, we've got the holidays coming up. Like, let's say you're with your family, you can do these little mini intuitive reads on them and help them get a better understanding of maybe what's blocking them or what they need to hear to move forward in their life and get closer to the highest frequency version of them. So that not only is something that you can do on yourself, but it's also something that you can do on other people. And you guys, we're all born with intuition. So if somebody is to tell you that like you cannot do this work unless you were, you've known from the moment you've stepped out of the womb, like, run. That's not the truth. We all have this inside of ourselves, and all you need to know is the techniques to do it. That's like saying, if you don't come out of the womb knowing how to play the piano, that you should never try and learn how to play the piano. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, the math isn't mathing, right? So that is what we are going to be doing in our intuition activation workshop. I am thrilled, you guys, thrilled to be sharing this information with you guys. It's been life-changing to my clients. It's been life-changing to me. And I honestly cannot help to get more people in touch with their own intuition and stop seeking for all of their answers from outside of themselves, and stop taking advice from people who are not going where you're going. Your soul, your higher self, knows what's best for you, and your intuition is the tool to master in order to know those answers so that you can get closer to your purpose in this life, so that you can trust yourself and you can get closer to the higher frequency version of yourself. So if you want to get signed up for this masterclass, for this workshop I'm going to be doing, I'm going to put the show note, the information, the link to sign up in the show notes below. There's a few other testimonials using this inside of this link, and a little bit more information on why exactly it would be in your best interest to get in this Zoom room. This is going to be on Zoom. It's going to be live. It will be recorded. If you cannot make it, you can still have access to it. And even if you do show up to the live, you will get the information, the recording sent to you via email, so that you can go back and listen to it again and again, however times you need to listen to it in order for you to continue to practice, etc., etc. So again, if this is something you're into and you want to learn more about, please sign up. Do not hesitate. If you have some sort of like feeling inside of you that is like interested, that's because it's your intuition, your higher self saying, please do this. Like, this is going to be so good for you. It's going to be life-changing for you. So if this is something that you're into, please sign up. If you have any questions, you can email the team. The email is going to be in the show notes below as well. Or you can DM me. And if you enjoyed this podcast episode, of course, please leave a rating and review. These ratings help so much. It helps my podcast grow and my message get to the people who it's meant to get to. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this encourages you to seek your answers from within. And I really hope to see you this Saturday, 11/11 at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Zoom. I hope to see you there. Chat soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this resonated with you, please make sure you leave a rating and review. Like and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Kayla Cakes, at KAELA_CAKES. Visit my website at MichaelaRyanFalar.com to find out more about my coaching services. All of these links are in the show notes below. Make sure you tune in for next week's episode. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Friday. Chat soon.